Welcome to the Collab Podcast. My name is Cameron, and I'm the podcast number 2 fan. On this podcast, my mom and auntie explore the concepts of self-mastery and community collaboration. Through intimate interviews and in-depth panel discussions, they share weekly inspiration from dance's most prominent figures.
She pulled through.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks, Cam, for that great intro.
Hi.
Who are you?
I'm Cameron.
Cool. Thanks for being on the show. Welcome back to the Collab Podcast. I am here with my co-host and sister, Devin, and we are just so excited because we had an amazing second season of the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, it just flew right by. And before we dive into all of the good stuff that we have planned for today's episode, we just want to thank my nephew and Michelle's son, Cameron, for coming on to do our credits. It feels extra special that he was able to do that. As you guys heard, he's the podcast number 2 fan. I don't know who takes that number 1 spot, but that's an honor for us. So Cameron, thank you so much for doing that.
Yes, thank you, Pumpkin, for joining us on our podcast today. He's been begging me to do it since the first season, so we're finally able to get him to do it. We hope that you had an amazing holiday season so far, and with the new year upon us, 2020 is it was a challenging time. And as we're coming into the new year, I know that I have some goals. And Devin, I'd be interested to hear what your goals are and plans for 2021 are.
Yeah, I think it's really exciting. Everyone is all abuzz, whether you're in the dance community or just going about life, right? This is the time of year for a fresh start. And I was really excited to come on today's episode and kind of just talk about goal setting. I think as dancers, we are very goal oriented, whether it's be to take classes more often, to, really like up your game in terms of choreography or freestyle. I know that there's not a lot that most teams are preparing for right now in terms of like competitions and things like that. But, getting casted or blocked in certain pieces, those are all goals that we set for ourselves, but are maybe not aware of. So coming on and kind of just getting excited about the new year and talking about goals was something that I was really looking forward to. For me, in terms of dance goals, one of the things that I want to do going into the new year, and just for a bit of context, I haven't been dancing a whole lot during quarantine. I think prior to that, Michelle and I were taking classes, or at least trying to. And then, we all were ordered to stay at home. And that was kind of a close on my dance routine. So going into the new year, I would like to just freestyle. I kind of do it now. Like I have, for the past 5-6 months, been slowly getting back into strength training. And I like to play good music when I'm lifting weights. Like if I'm about to hit like heavy deadlifts for the day, like I want to have some good music. But in between my rests, I catch myself kind of like moving and dancing. So I think I just want to make that more of my life again. I don't think that it'll ever be what it was before, where I was dancing like, 8+ hours every day. But I just don't want to lose that part of myself that just feels good when I dance. And that's a teaser for this next season. Never mind.
Well, we can give it away.
Yeah, okay.
We gave away some tidbits in the last one.
It was Anna, right? We were talking about like just listening to your body. And we do talk to Anna Sorrell, and something that she said that really resonated with me personally was just moving in the way that our body feels good, like truly letting our body decide what it wants to do. And so for me, it's to freestyle more and to give it a little bit more structure. I think I don't know, I'm still playing around with it. I might do it on Instagram, like to hold myself accountable and post maybe like on my stories. Or I used to have a YouTube channel for choreography that we revisited this past weekend and it was absolutely embarrassing and horrific. But, that's the journey, that's dance, and I can't deny that that's where I started. So I have to appreciate it for that. But for me, one of my dance goals for 2021 is to just freestyle.
I love that. That's great. And I mean, I selfishly want to hold you accountable to post it on Instagram or post it somewhere so that we can watch it because I think it's amazing.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm saying it now, but no, I do want it to be something that I do daily.
Yeah.
And I mean, I could just put something in like my bullet journal to like track it, but what would be the fun in that, right?
We need a video journal of it.
Yeah, we need to make it like a little bit more high stakes. How about you? What are some of your dance goals?
Well, one of the things that I certainly, freestyle has kind of always been in the back of my mind, but I was never really comfortable in my own body. I'm trying to get more comfortable, but I think one of the things for me in particular is I miss training on a team. And my pickup used to be really great. I used to be just a lot more active. I mean, I work out every day, but active in movement and picking up choreography. And so one of the things that I started to do is, when COVID happened, I signed up for a S3E1 membership. And I'm basically training like I'm on a team. So I'm trying to not really put together a medley, but I guess really am trying to put together a medley.
Yeah, so New Year's countdown, New Year's performance, because we don't know. We don't know if the ball's going to drop on New Year's or, I don't know, maybe they'll do it virtually.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've, so far have taught myself on S3E1 3 pieces and, I jump on every day and I commit to do anywhere from a half hour to 45 minutes where I'm either learning a new piece or I'm reviewing an existing one. And then just trying to be mindful and mental with like paying attention to detail. I was never really good with the detail. And I always waited until a director or a choreographer told me to fix something and then I would fix it. So I'm really trying to be mindful of that. So I think, going into 2021, I just want to be more active and feel more comfortable in my body and with choreography in that way. Yeah. So, yeah.
That's a super exciting goal.
Yeah,
I'm so
it's been great.
For your super medley on New Year's.
It's going to be like a 20-minute
But what I love so much about your goal is just the fact that, you said that you missed dancing with a team. And right now, a lot of teams are doing like live or not live rehearsals, Zoom rehearsals or video conference rehearsals. And I think maybe for the most part, a lot of them has skipped over their season auditions. So it's not necessarily an option for a lot of dancers right now to join a team. But you said, that's not going to stop me. I'm going to find a way to get that essence of being on a team, training on a team again, back in my life. And whatever you need as a dancer right now is the right answer for you. But I think that it's so great to see the opportunity in the challenge that teams are not meeting right now.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And, I am I haven't quite done it yet. Actually, I'm in the middle of learning a piece that's probably a little bit more advanced for my flavor and my style. And it's taking me a long time, but that's the beauty of S3E1, right? Because when you're in an hour setting in a class, you're sort of pressured to get everything in that hour because then class is over. So I am really appreciating taking my time and doing it in the comfort of my own home. So, yeah.
That's awesome. I'm so excited for you. I think it would be really awesome for us to check in with you guys on our goals and how it's going at the end of this next season. And just see, is Devin freestyling? Is Michelle still training? As though she is on a team. You guys are our accountability partners for the time being.
Absolutely. Well, and let us know what some of your goals are going into the new year. Comment below or, reach out to us. We'd love to hear what what your goals are going into 2021, because it's a new year. It's time for new opportunities.
Mm-hmm. And if you're listening to this after New Year's, it's not too late. It's never too late. And I think a lot of people, not a lot of people, but some people may harp on the fact that, why wait until New Year's to set goals? It happens to be the time of year where people are excited and they feel like they can start anew. So if you feel that, then we're not going to take that away from you. But again, it's never too late to start. So if you're listening to this months from now, know that right now is a great time to start too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think sometimes the significance of ritualizing it as part of the new year helps. But again, as you said, if you're not the type of person that, ritualizes or does a resolution in the new year, as long as you start, who cares when you do it?
Yeah, for sure. Or if you have a dance goal that you've been working on already, then we'd love to hear that too. Again, as Michelle said, you can comment below if you're watching the video podcast, or reach out to us on Instagram. We'll have that linked below, or you can even email us. We'd love to chat with you and connect with you guys.
Well, we had an amazing season. We opened up our second season with Nikki, who, just incredible to hear her experience being on the San Diego Chargers and following a lifelong dream. And then after that, pursuing her passion for teaching. And it was just a great episode full of a lot of knowledge and a lot of wisdom. I really enjoyed talking to her.
So did I. And the funny thing is we've actually met Nikki before that. And it was interesting because I think the conversation, it was really just like getting to know her on a more personal level, because when we first met her, it was through dance class, and we actually got to take dance class with Nikki. And so it was kind of fun to realize that we shared that moment with her, and then again, got to know her on a more personal level. I think she just has an amazing journey, and her life story. If you haven't listened to that episode, we'll have all of them linked off in the show notes so you can catch up on season 2, but definitely go listen to hers, because everything that she has to say is just with such an immensely positive perspective and appreciation for all of life's blessings.
Absolutely. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. And then, really the momentum of the season picked up right from the get-go, because the next guest that we had was Kevin Bellisario on our second episode. And oh my gosh, you've known Kevin in particular since your childhood. And we've seen him blossom into this really just incredible human being. There's no other way to put it. And he talked to us about so many good things. He talked to us about the good work he's doing with his podcast, what he's been up to during, this time of COVID and staying at home. And it was just really, really cool to have a really in-depth discussion with him and find out what he's been up to. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think talking to Kevin was really great for us because, as you said, we've known him since childhood and we've been keeping up on social media, but to have the opportunity to talk and really hear more about what he's doing in depth with Of Like Minds podcast is just incredible. Taking the opportunity of being quarantined and seeing it as a chance to jump on a creative endeavor that he had been sitting on for quite a while. And in that episode, I love that he also was able to share some of his favorite Lululemon and Nike, recommendations with us. So if you're looking for some good active wear, then definitely listen to that episode.
Yeah. Well, and we've talked about it too, because even though we're recording over Zoom, we talked about like the simplicity of Kevin just always having his trademark black t-shirt. Kevin, we might steal some fashion advice from you.
Yeah, for sure.
And then our third episode was with Josh. And this was really special to us because, Josh became part of our dance journey when he joined our team at the Box Dance Studio. And so I think, Devin, you in particular really got an opportunity to, with you directing Josh, really got an opportunity to see him grow as a dancer. And he's just really special. And we just love him. I mean, I have nothing else to say other than we just absolutely adore Josh. And we're so happy that we got to talk to him and catch up. It was nice to revisit that part of our dance journey.
Yes, it was particularly sentimental for all of the reasons that Michelle shared. I had the opportunity to work with Josh very closely, but I think he, more than I was able to teach him, he has taught me so much about what kind of person that I want to be, not only in the dance community, but just in life, how I want to carry myself. So it was really cool to just kind of catch up with Josh, see what he's been doing through quarantine, and also hear a little bit about his plant dad life. That was really fun. Just things that I think a lot of us are picking up during these weird stay-at-home orders. It's hard as dancers because we're not going out to rehearsals or dance classes as much anymore. A lot of that is still being done online. And I think being able to see the little hobbies that everyone picks up is kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, and I did love that Josh said that he really took time away from dance to reflect, and he allowed himself to have that break. I think that was a really huge takeaway from me, because I think we oftentimes pressure ourselves and feel guilty about, taking breaks. And so if you haven't listened to that episode, absolutely, it's definitely one to go back and listen to. All of them are, but that is definitely a good lesson in allowing yourself to take a break. And then we sort of shifted gears. We had Stephanie Sidela on, and Stephanie, oh my gosh, you are just like an energy and just a beam of light in our lives. I felt like I could have talked to Stephanie for hours.
Same here.
Yeah.
She was a blast from the past. I don't remember if I had shared in that episode, but Stephanie was my director when I was dancing in high school. And I kept having these moments when we were talking to her where I was like, whoa, like, I feel like I'm back in that little after rehearsal huddle, and she's imparting these like bits of wisdom and encouragement so that we can come back to the next rehearsal and be even better than we were before. So that was really special for me to be able to reconnect with Stephanie and hear just all of the great things that she had to say. Everything that came out of her mouth that day was incredibly impactful. It's actually one of our mom's favorite episodes. When she listened to it, she's like, please tell Steph that I'm so enlightened by what she had to share, and that she's just, so impressed that someone so young has so much to say about life.
Yeah. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more with that. And then kind of, on the trajectory of self-improvement and positive light, we had probably one of the most humble and beautiful spirits that I've ever met in my life, Selene Haro, on our podcast. And, we talked to Bellisario last season. And after we talked to him, he said, you have to get Selene on the podcast. And it took us a while just to get our schedules aligned. But to be able to talk to her, I mean, I just walked away from that episode loving life, having more gratitude, seeing the good in everything. And it was like a new pair of glasses for me. And I just loved our conversation with her.
I did as well. And our podcast is mainly focused on the dance community. But what I'm finding with a lot of our guests is that they just have so much wisdom when it comes to having a powerful growth mindset. And I feel like all of our guests have had shifts either in their dance journey or their dance or after their dance journey. And it's just really exciting to see and hear about these transformations so that we can learn and we can take those little bits of wisdom and put them into effect in our own lives. So Selene definitely did that for us. I mean, aside from her long list of accolades, I mean, she just has so much going for her as a really gentle, kind human being. I feel like if everyone took the approach of Selene's attitude, this might be a different world.
Absolutely. Well, and I remember we finished recording that episode. We wrapped that episode. And the first thing I did, thank you, Selene, was I walked out and I told my husband I loved him. And I told my son that I loved him. And I just, like I said, I walked out of that episode with a new pair of glasses on, seeing life in a completely different light. So definitely an episode to listen to. That's for sure. And then after Selene's episode, we had the great privilege to actually sit down with legend and icon Justin J. Vaughn, Papa J, as you lovingly know him. I've always had a special place for Jay in my heart. And, we've known him when we first opened the box. Jay was gracious enough to sit down and share his wisdom on the dance community and, the impact that we could have as a studio on the community. And I just have the utmost respect for him. But being able to sit with him and laugh and just, he was another one that I could have just talked to for hours.
For sure. Jay, as far as leadership goes, is as good as it gets. I'm so lucky to have had him as a director when I was dancing with Super Galactic. And I learned so much from him, wanting to take cues from his leadership and also bring that into our space, but also just kind of how I want to carry out the rest of my life. I want to show up for others. I want to be empathetic. I want to really make impactful and lasting change, because that's what Jay did for me. And the fact that it had been so long since we had last talked to him from that time that we recorded the episode, to feel as though the conversation was just like old friends catching up, like we just didn't miss a beat. And that's something special about Jay that I'll always appreciate. He always opens his heart and mind to everyone who sits down in front of him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, exactly like you said, we picked up right where we left off. And it was, he's truly one of the best. And I feel very privileged that we got a chance to speak with him. And our season finale was absolutely incredible. We had reached out to Sierra Lauren after we heard about her IG Live. We didn't actually watch the IG Live, but we had heard about it, and all of the notoriety and the publicity that came with it, her coming out about her story. And we just knew that we had to have her. And before we recorded the episode, she was gracious enough to jump on an introductory call with us, just to get a sense of what we wanted from her and sort of set expectations. And that was probably the most powerful half hour that we had, because she just had so much to say. And we knew that, we wanted her on the podcast. And man, just so many life lessons, not just in dance, but in life. And the one big takeaway for me, and she kept going on about this, was you cannot succeed in life unless you fail. And I thought that was so beautiful. Or you're never going to grow unless you fail. And that's so beautiful. We have to remind ourselves that if we don't fail, we won't see success, we won't improve, and we won't grow. And Cierra, because of you, I've tried to step outside of my box and take different styles of classes, just because you're right. It's, you can kill it in one style, good for you, but how is that really growth? And so I just really love that she shared her experience with us, and she was really candid about a lot of her stories, and we very much respect and appreciate that.
Yeah, Cierra was super authentic, so genuine. And like Michelle said, I personally haven't been able to bring myself to watch her video just because, well, for personal reasons, but I did read, kind of like a bullet point list that I think came up on Reddit, just outlining the things that she had to go through. And I don't know, there might be a time where I go back and I actually listen to it, but being able to talk to her as someone that is pioneering for change with Speak Your Truth worldwide, I feel like that's the most important part of the story. And I don't want to discredit the things that Cierra went through or so many other people went through. But even when we had our call with her, she was saying, I would prefer not to rehash the past if I come on the podcast. That's the past. I'm ready to move on. I want to talk about what I'm doing to help the community move forward and heal. So that was really empowering for me. And again, Cierra is just super genuine, super authentic, very candid, and definitely someone to watch out for in this next year. Just really bringing together the dance community in a way that I think we have yet to really enjoy and see.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And across all the episodes, when we asked our guests, what's good in the dance community, almost all of our guests said community support and coming together as a dance community and the people in our community. And I think that that's really powerful because, especially in a time like this, a time of crisis, that's the light in all of this. That's the light at the end of the tunnel, is that we can come together as a community. So that was a very powerful message across season 2, I think.
It's been a weird year, and being able to look forward to this fresh start is the hope that I think everyone needs. And 2021, man, I think we have a lot to look forward to. And the important thing is to continuously be in gratitude, to always count our blessings. And we're definitely just overwhelmingly thankful for all of our guests that we were able to share season 2 with.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, we said this on our recap for the first season. We didn't expect for this to be much of anything when we started this podcast. It was really just another passion project. And really it's become sort of a self-serving project, I think, because all of these amazing people that we're talking to, it's really allowing us to be introspective and reflect on the way that we see life and the way that we do life. And it's been a really beautiful thing, but we are going to have another season 3, and that's going to be even more amazing. We have some really great guests coming in season 3. And, thank you so much to everyone who's been supporting and listening to us over our first 2 seasons. We hope that you're enjoying the episodes, and, please be sure to reach out to us. We'll be sure to link all of our ways to get in touch with us in the show notes here. And we'd love your feedback. Let us know who you want to see, who you want us to talk to.
For sure. For this next season, we definitely want to involve all of our listeners a whole lot more, such as having you guys come on and read the credits for us as Cameron did. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and contact us through the information that we'll leave in the show notes and in the description box.
Thank you so much for listening to the Collab podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please show your support by leaving a review on iTunes. Be sure to subscribe to our show wherever you get your podcasts. The conversation continues over Instagram and YouTube with highlights from today's episode.
Case they dead, no, that's my boo, yeah, that's boo.